Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides, and we're back in my classroom this morning. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that 2019 Chevrolet Camaro. Yesterday, Chevrolet unwrapped their refresh of their Camaro. It's not a total redesign, it is a refresh of both the front fascia, the rear fascia, the hood, the wheels, and then some of the other things that fall into place, like on the interior, that I'm going to mention in a second now. I think probably for Chevrolet, the biggest issue has been separating the SS from the rest of the lineup. I think they've done a wonderful job with the ZL1, giving that a bunch of personality and character, both underneath the hood and styling wise, to differentiate it from the rest of the pack, especially the 1LE model of the ZL1. But when it comes to the SS, it's kind of, fallen in with the V6 and the V6 option RS and all that kind of stuff. You really can't tell the difference unless you're really, really, really um, looking for the little trademark differences between the SS and the rest of the Camaro bunch. If you have not watched yet, I just did a quickie review of a side by side of a 2018 Camaro SS and a Camaro SS 1LE. So if you have not seen that yet, click in my quickie review section and just scroll down. It was just about a week ago that I had put up there, just to help bring in where are we going from 2018 to going into 2019. So it's kind of funny because this is something that I've mentioned a few times when we're talking about, the Camaro, the Mustang, and the Challenger is those designs have been based off of styling from the past, that retro styling. And, I think Mustang uh, brought it to the forefront with the 2006, how they did the redesign and made it look like the old 1965 Mustang. And then, Dodge Challenger came into play. And I think out of the bunch, they really hit the nail right on the head with that retro styling. And then Camaro in 2010 came into the foray. So it's been based off of this old retro styling with a 21st century flair, obviously. But I knew that it would eventually get to this point because now what's going to happen is that these designs need to be taken forward, and where do you go with it? You're going to have to differentiate from the past to change it. So how much do you change? And you could really see that in the 2018 Ford Mustang. If you have not seen those reviews, I have two in-depth reviews of those. So in that in-depth review playlist section, click on those to take a look at the 2018 Mustang. I think they really have done it well because they're changing the front, making it more aerodynamic, really bringing that 21st century, but they're still keeping the same basic silhouette of what we know a classic Mustang to look like. Dodge still hasn't done anything. I'm dying to see where Dodge is going to take this Challenger because I think their claim to fame is and to keep it at the forefront is they've come up with about 10 different models of the Challenger, from the base Challenger to the Challenger RT to the Scat Pack to the Scat Pack with the shaker hood to the SRT to the Hellcat to the Hellcat wide body and now the Dodge Demon. All those are based off of Dodge Challenger, so it would be interesting to see where Dodge is going. And I even forgot one, the TA. So you can see how many different versions of a Challenger there are. And it's mind blowing, but I'm very curious to see where they're going to take that. But anyways, back to the 2019 Chevrolet Camaro. I think the thing that is freaking people out, and this is all based off of going off of photos. I've seen cars in the past, the photos of them, and then you see it in your person, you're like, is that the same car? I think that hopefully will happen with the Chevrolet Camaro, but right now that SS, the front end of it, I don't know what look they're going for. The hood line is way too high to where the rest of the front fascia is, and it's so many of these manufacturers are going to this open, front end grill styling. Is it going to get to the point where there's no front end to a car? Because based off the Chevrolet Camaro, especially the SS for 2019, I don't think I know a car that has such little front fascia to it, than that car, and it's massive. It's big. Maybe on my Focus RS, because it's a little smaller car, it's not as obtrusive, but it's really big. And I don't know if obviously the Lexus really, with their waterfall open grille styling. Um, for me, they've done it the best when it comes to that full open grille. Yes, I know Audi many years ago has done an open grille, but I'm talking about where there's a lot of open space, not just the main grill area over the radiator and whatnot. What's funny is one thing that I did mention in that quickie review is the Chevrolet Flow Tie. If you are unaware, back in 2014, when Chevrolet brought back the Z28 Camaro, they had discovered in wind tunnel testing that by hollowing out that Chevrolet bow tie, they were able to actually increase airflow. So now all SSs will have the flow tie. The ZL1 has had the flow tie. The Z28 has had the flow tie. Now the SS will have the flow tie. Now the bizarre thing is that they've moved the flow tie down into that main cover of the front bumper beam cover, because of the structure that's behind it. So it's kind of bizarre where the placement of it is, because it's almost like smack dab right in the middle. So I don't know how I feel about that yet, but based off of pictures, I'm not really digging it. Now, when it comes to the SS, since we're starting there, it is their top um, model line besides the ZL1. I know about the ZL1, but for right now, they have not introduced any information on the ZL1. So they're keeping that close to their chest, those cars close to their chest. But for the SS, um, totally redesigned front fascia, the rear of the car. I guess one thing for some Camaro owners is that they were missing the round taillights from the first gen, so they brought back the rear taillights to be round. One thing I think some people are having an issue with is the way that they look when they're not illuminated. Um, the reverse light is sort of built in with the tail light, and it's giving it that kind of like cheap aftermarket look, at least from what that's, I've studied the pictures, at least that's from what I'm noticing. We'll have to wait and see until we see it in person, but that is where there's a redesign. Now, the one thing I really do like about the outside of the SS is I like the hood. I like the hoods that they're using. They got a new heat extractor that is still functional, just like on the current model. So I do like that about the styling. Wheels, um, the wheels on a ZL1 today are beautiful. I love the wheels on a ZL1. The wheels on an SS, they need to figure something out about this 5-star wheel design, and need to give it that little extra something, especially when you're buying an SS. So that's something I would like to see change. Also, I don't know if you've been behind a Camaro SS lately. It's really bizarre where Chevrolet's putting the SS logo. It's sort of like on the left-hand side in the middle of the bumper. It doesn't make sense to me. I wish they could figure out a better way to integrate that into the back of the car, especially because those are two famous letters, SS, Super Sport, very famous letters when it comes to Chevrolet, and especially the Camaro. Inside is going to be the standard fare. Now, they did make some changes. There is an infotainment system that stock is 7-inch. You could get an optional 8-inch. Also, when it comes to the SS, if you do the 2SS option car, it will now have a um, backup camera that shows up in your rear view mirror. So that's obviously been one of the biggest issues with the Camaro is visibility. So to try to help visibility out the back of the car when you're going in reverse, you now have that camera footage. It's going to be full on your mirror as you're backing up to give you a better view than trying to look out that little tiny window, which you could see that in my quickie review, just how small that rear window is. Other than that, you get the 455 horsepower V8 pushrod. It's a top performer, even if you've seen tests between the 2018 Mustang GT and the current Camaro. It beats it. It's still faster, even though Ford came out with slight redesign of the Coyote 5 liter, more horsepower than the Camaro, but yet on the track, when it comes to handling dynamics and everything else, the Camaro is a quicker car. But that is a discussion for a totally different day. Now, moving on down the line, they still have the V6 option. That 3.8 liter V6 is still there. And like I said, you could do RS option on any of the models. Also, they still have the 1LE. They have the 1LE for the V8. They have the 1LE for the V6. And now the biggest news, and what they're saying is probably going to be the car that steals the show for the 2019 Camaro, is the um, inline four turbocharged engine. You could get that with a 1LE option. Now, remember, when it comes to 1LE, it's not just a styling thing, it is a functionality. You're getting totally different um, shocks and suspension bits. You're getting a standard manual transmission. So that's a great thing. And they're saying that with this Camaro, the 4-cylinder turbo 1LE is going to be a perfect 50-50 weight distribution. So I'm curious to see how that's going to handle when that comes out. You're getting some of those design styling features with the front lip and the flat black hood and the rear flat black deck lid spoiler, that kick up spoiler. I really like that spoiler on the 1LE. That's probably another big complaint for me is the standard spoiler that they put on the SS and any of the other models. If you get it, it looks like it's from 1985. It looks like it's off my 1985 Firebird, which was my first car. It has the two um, supports and then the wing that goes out. I don't know how functional it is, but it looks 1980s. That's not for me. The 1LE though has that nice kick up. It's flat black. It's got a really nice touch. You're looking at 275 horsepower. 275 horsepower, and they're directing the car, believe it or not, at the Focus RS, at the WRX STI, the Golf R, those types of vehicles. So it'll be interesting to see how this is all going to play out. There's different lighting and whatnot that you get with the RS package. But when it comes to overall styling, I think the V6 and the 4-cylinder, the front bumper looks a little cleaner. I'm not sold on the SS yet. Like I said, if you look at the pictures, the line of the hood is just way too high compared to the rest of the front of the car. But anyways, we'll have to wait and see. So I wanted to bring this to you as soon as I had found out about it, had some time to study the photos, find out some of the options and whatnot. Another big thing, I think, when it comes to the whole line is that you can get an optional 10-speed automatic. That's that same 10-speed automatic that is in the ZL1 and the ZL1 1LE, and also that one that was worked on between Ford and General Motors. I drove the Ford Raptor with the 10-speed. It's a great transmission. Would I get an automatic? Probably not. But hey, to each their own. These automatics are mind-blowing now. I remember growing up as a kid, automatics were not the way to go. But that has changed due to computers and technology. So another great thing when it comes to technology. But anyways, if you like this kind of stuff, if you like me bringing to you new information as soon as I get it and have a time to look at it and then present it to you, let me know. Leave a comment in that comment section. Thank you guys, my subscribers out there. Thank you. I'm very grateful. We're closing in on that 3,000 mark. It's unbelievable where this is going. Remember, I've only started it back in October. If you have not hit that subscribe button yet, I promise you, hit that subscribe button. It's worth coming back. I have daily videos, all sorts of vlogs, quickie reviews, in-depth reviews. Check it out. Go through them. I think there's going to be something for everybody there, from imports to American muscle to classic cars. If you have anything that you want me to vlog about or anything in particular you want to see, leave a comment in that comment section. Visit my website, raitiesrise.com. You can send a message directly through there. If you haven't checked out my Instagram page, I have all original photos on there at Raitiesrise on Instagram. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.